How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Fraud on the Telly. In today's video, we're going to be answering the question, just who and what is this mysterious dragon that appeared in episode 10 of House of the Dragon? As always, if you enjoyed the video or learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out our House of the Dragon finale breakdown. Let's just get right into it, shall we? So there was a scene in episode 10 of House of the Dragon that had a lot of fans wondering just what was going on. The scene I'm referring to is when Daemon made his way into the caves of Dragonstone, singing to some unknown dragon which appears before him. In this video, we're going to be speculating and theorizing as to just who the identity of this dragon is, as there are a number of riderless dragons in Game of Thrones, in Westeros, at the time of the Dance of the Dragons, so it's very possible that this dragon is one of them, but it's also possible that this dragon is a completely new dragon that was made by the showrunners, but that does seem pretty unlikely. With that in mind, it's likely to be a dragon that we already know of somewhat in Game of Thrones, probably from Fire and Blood, so without further ado, let's do some speculating. Now, there are a bunch of dragons in Game of Thrones, but I think a good place to start would be possibly the dragons that live on Dragonstone, the unoccupied wild dragons. First being Grey Ghost. This name was given to the dragon by the small folk of Dragonstone, as the dragon was gray in color and said to be shy, avoiding many of the men and small folk throughout Dragonstone, and the fishermen that fished and worked on the water outside of Dragonstone in the mainland of Westeros. Now, once again, this dragon seems to be in the right place, so it could be our mysterious dragon, but the personality of the dragon from the description that we're given from Fire and Blood does not seem to match up. This dragon did not seem to really be that shy. If anything, it was quite aggressive, and I wouldn't exactly call it tame or much of a ghost. It didn't seem to look that gray either. We're unknown as to the exact size of Grey Ghost. There are no texts saying exactly how big it is, and it doesn't seem to be one of the larger dragons that are alive at the time. So Grey Ghost, while maybe will make an appearance in House of the Dragon in Season 2 or 3, does not seem to be our culprit here either. Next, then, that leaves Sheepstealer, another one of the wild dragons on Dragonstone, and one that possibly fits in a bit more detail with our mysterious dragon here. Like Grey Ghost, the dragon was named by the small folk of Dragonstone, as Sheepstealer has taken a liking of mutton, of lamb, and would consistently steal lambs throughout Dragonstone and off the coast of Westeros, though it was said that Sheepstealer never harmed any of the sheep herders or any of the men that would work with the sheep. Sheepstealer was said to be an ugly brown color and a rather larger dragon, though it was said that he was not aggressive towards humans unless provoked. Once provoked, though, it was said he was ill-tempered and vicious. Now, this is a dragon that will definitely be making an appearance sometime in House of the Dragon, as it does have a named writer character in Fire and Blood. So it is possible, again, that this dragon is Sheepstealer, as the dragon is said to be aggressive and vicious if provoked. It is of a relatively larger size, maybe, as it is not a young dragon at the time of the Dance of the Dragon. It's said to be maybe somewhere around middle-aged, but again, this doesn't seem to quite fit the bill. Like we said, according to Fire and Blood, Sheepstealer will have a known character writer in Dance of the Dragons. If this is the case, why would Daemon go down into the caves within Dragonstone to look for this dragon? It's just really kind of strange, and everything that I understand about Fire and Blood, this whole scene and with this dragon is definitely something that was not in the book. So while Sheepstealer seems to be more likely than our other two dragons, at least in terms of its aggressiveness and the fact that it was on Dragonstone, the color seems relatively right. I think there's one more that's the better option. To me, this mysterious dragon seems most likely to be Cannibal. Cannibal is said to be the eldest of the 3 wild dragons on Dragonstone. We know that Sheepstealer was born sometime around the reign of Jaehaerys the First. So as far as size goes, it seems like Cannibal best fits the description of what we saw on screen in episode 10. Not much is known about this dragon other than it is old and it is aggressive and it is known to attack younger dragons and smaller dragons around Dragonstone. Several people across the history of the Targaryens' reign have tried to tame this dragon, but all have failed, most dying. So as far as aggressiveness and temperament goes, Cannibal seems to fit our bill with our mysterious dragon from episode 10. And the dragon's size and relative age, well, we don't know exactly how old the dragon is. There are many texts that speculate within Fire and Blood that the dragon was possibly there before the Targaryens even arrived on Dragonstone, or possibly came sometime later, which could basically make it as old as Balerion, possibly the dragon that died of old age, or possibly just a bit younger than that dragon, which I guess would then make it one of the oldest, if not the oldest. Now, like we said, it's possible that this dragon is completely made up and new by the showrunners, as Cannibal was not tamed by Daemon Targaryen, and while it does make a few appearances in the Dance of the Dragons from Fire and Blood, its role is relatively unknown, and it doesn't seem to have a writer ever from what we know about the story of this dragon. We know that Daemon wants to gather as many dragons as possible, as dragons are nukes in Game of Thrones, and especially in a battle where both sides have dragons. The more dragons you have and the bigger dragons you have probably are the winner. Now, like we said, this was not in Fire and Blood from everything that I've read and from what I remember. So it seems to me like the showrunners are maybe preparing for a showdown between Vhagar and this new mystery dragon, as they possibly want to bring in another dragon that is of comparable size, maybe, to Vhagar, as Vhagar is a chunky freaking dragon. Now, while all that would be fun, it's most likely Vermithor. Last written by King Jaehaerys Targaryen I, Vermithor is one of the oldest dragons alive right now, and one of the largest right behind Vhagar and Cannibal. A bronze dragon with great tan wings, Vermithor, around the time of the Dance of Dragons, is over 100 years old and currently is residing in Dragonstone as well. The dragon is said to be bronze. I can't tell if the dragon in the scene is bronze because I'm a bit colorblind, but it does seem to be a bit more bronze. Also, the size would also be about right if we're comparing it to Vhagar, as this dragon in front of our boy Daemon is absolutely massive. Big enough to where it's only possible it can only be a handful of dragons, and we know that Vermithor does make an appearance later on in Dance of the Dragons. We won't spoil anything for later seasons of House of the Dragons, but you will most definitely see Vermithor again along with their writer. So it really seems like they're just trying to tease this mystery dragon and this dragon that will appear again. Now, it could be Cannibal, but it seems most likely it's Vermithor. It would be pretty out of the blue for the showrunners to just put in a dragon that wasn't really featured at all in Fire and Blood into the story. But hey, I mean, crazier things have happened, let's be honest, in Game of Thrones showrunning history. Let me know in the comments down below, do you think this is also Vermithor? It seems most likely that it is. While it would be fun if it was Cannibal, and it would be really cool if Cannibal makes an appearance sometime in Season 2 or 3 of House of the Dragon, it's most likely Vermithor, and it just makes the most sense in the story. If you enjoyed the video and you learned something new, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out some of our other House of the Dragon content. As always, guys, thank you for watching my video. Hope to see you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Peace, love, I'll do.